Hey there, Pisces. It's Jen here from tarotspirit.net doing your December 2017 tarot reading. I'm using the Druid Craft Tarot today. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Okay. One message I'm getting right off the bat is that there's something that you're in denial about, and um, and that you're up worrying and obsessing about something and have a lot of fear and anxiety around something. Um, but a lot of the issue is that you're not seeing it clearly because you're in denial about something. It's like you don't want to admit something because I think if you do, like, let's use a relationship, for example, if you do admit that you're not happy or that this person's behavior is unacceptable or whatever, it's like then you're going to have to actually deal with it. Whereas right now, it's just a lot of like pomp and circumstance and drama and complaining and whining and worry, but you're not really dealing with it because you're not acknowledging the elephant in the room. So it's like, so things are out of balance because of that. Things are not fair. Things are not in balance because, um, like it's kind of like treating the symptoms and not finding out what the actual root cause is. So it's not really addressing, it's not solving the actual problem. It's sort of, like I know someone who, oh my God, they've moved. She keeps moving and changing jobs and moving. And like the whole thing is that, she needs different jobs because her significant other doesn't help with the finances, doesn't help with it's like, not getting into details, but it's kind of like dealing with everything except for the elephant in the room. It's kind of like in a job, having a huge turnover of staff and never dealing with the fact that it's the management that is the issue. It's like not dealing with the actual root cause of something. So just to, if and I've to bring that balance back into your life, it's like you are going to have to make a change. You are going to have to remove yourself from a situation. You're going to have to make a decision. You're going to have to stand up for yourself. And this is a card about defending your self, stating your case, but not getting defensive. And if someone, um, that's sort of a red flag. If you feel like you have to defend yourself to someone a lot, that can be a clue about where in your life, because maybe you're like everything's fine, and I mean, very well can be, and this doesn't resonate with you, but and you can also tell like when you find you can no longer talk to your friends about a certain situation. This I don't know if it was you that this compassion fatigue. It's like they no longer can even, they can no longer be sympathetic to you because it's just like, oh my God, shut up already or deal with it. Like shit or get off the pot type of energy. But this is just like, this is not acceptable and it can't happen anymore. And if it does, then I'm out. I'm done, whatever. But then you have to follow through on it. It can't be an idle threat. You have to, but it's overburdened. You've allowed yourself to get overburdened and you've been taking on other people's responsibilities, other people's problems. This to me is a codependent card. Um, you, no matter how good your intentions are, um, you can't solve someone else's problems for them. And you also cannot be their proverbial metaphorical punching bag either. So you need to let someone else sink or swim on their own. And, worrying yourself to death, easier said than done, isn't going to, you can never feel bad enough to make someone feel better. It's everyone has to deal with their own stuff. But these two together too, I feel like you've been you've been keeping everything together. And maybe you've been keeping everything together. Maybe you've done the opposite. Maybe you haven't told anyone that things aren't good at home, or that things are, that's something's been happening in some area of your life, because you just don't want to deal with it. You just want everyone to think everything's fine, but it's like that's not sustainable if things really aren't fine. There's only so long you can keep all the plates spinning before they're going to come crashing down. And that doesn't mean you need to tell everyone your business either. But I feel like there's someone that's just a wicked micromanager that just nitpicks to death and is super tight with their money and just super, super controlling. And this guy is super controlling. OCD, like to a fault. Like, it's so tight with their money, so particular about, to the point where it's not realistic and it's not attainable. And maybe it's you. Maybe you've become super trying to control everything else, when it's maybe something within you that you need to deal with. That can happen too. That's a lot of the times why people are super controlling. They're trying to control everything, when the one thing they really need to control, and the only thing they actually can control, is themselves. But if you've been carrying the burden of someone else's issues, it's time to put them down. We all have our own stuff and to deal with, and it's not your responsibility. And pity or fear or anything like that is not a legitimate reason to enable someone else's bad behavior and allow yourself to be treated poorly. But things will be coming back into balance once you allow that thing you're not looking at or don't want to deal with to come to the surface. It brings the balance in. It's going to flip this justice card into the upright and make things. She's on solid ground here. And only then can you flip this around and go from rough waters to smooth waters, to literally remove yourself from the situation. And it is a sword card. It's a mental card, because me mentally, like, I am not going to allow myself to get like this over someone else's issues. I can't do that anymore for them. It's not healthy. And it all leads to healing. So really focusing on what you can and can't control, what is your responsibility and burden, and what is someone else's, and putting up some boundaries. And no is a complete sentence. No, thank you. If you feel like no is too rude, no, thank you. And that's all you have to say. And the person that demands more, that's the big red flag, that they've been getting something out of you by saying, no, what, how dare you not take on my burdens and do my, take on my responsibilities. And I can no longer, I need you around because I need someone to blame. So by getting rid of that, then you're able to heal and get excited about moving forward. This card is also, and I kind of feel like this is in the past though. Like, this is what you're kind of coming in to December with the having realized that, but needing to just implement it. And then it's all this healing, and then you're all of a sudden like, I can start looking forward to the future. Like, I'm not tied down because of someone else's issue, or your own internal blocks, really is what it comes down to. And then you can start, like, you feel free. You feel you've gotten rid of this excess baggage. I mean, it could be something from a long time ago that you've just been hanging on to, resentment and issues, and you're finally like, I'm freeing myself from all of that so that I can heal and move forward and be And yeah, start getting excited about things. So things really coming back into balance for you in December. And listen to your intuition. Listen to those red flags. Don't um don't allow yourself or anyone else to have you mistrust yourself. Like, trust yourself, trust that gut instinct, trust that you know what you need to do. And when something isn't right and something isn't okay, trust that gut feeling and take action. It's a cool card. Okay, I think I will leave it there. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely month. Take care.